The beach is always full of surprises, and you're about to witness the strangest of them all. This compilation has unexpected creatures washing up on shores, crazy discoveries, and shocking encounters that will make you think twice before going to the beach alone. The Brazilian influencer Camila Loures was creating a TikTok video at the beach with her boyfriend, but the camera captured something else too. There was a pale figure in the background. The entity was neither human nor animal, and it was staring straight at the camera. Its face was really disturbing, and its body looked like a tangled mass of white veins. The couple didn't notice it at the time. Only after returning home and watching the footage did they see the bizarre creature behind them. When Loris posted the video, her followers accused her of staging it for views. But some of them were convinced it was a ghost. Night beach horror. Last year, a man visited the beach in the Philippines late at night. That's when he saw a pale creature that shocked him. At first, its pale color made him think it could be a beluga whale, but as he got closer, he realized it was something far worse. It had a long body with a gaping mouth and a strange head. Instead of fins, it had strange human-like limbs that seemed bloated by water ingestion or decay. The man was so disturbed by the sight that he left the beach after recording the creature. Mysterious carcass. In 2013, quad bikers riding along Bay of Plenty's coast in New Zealand discovered a nightmarish sight. It was a massive, decaying carcass about 9 meters long. Its head and jagged teeth looked prehistoric, while the rest of its body was in such a terrible state that no one could identify it. The sand around it was marked with tiny paw prints, which added to the mystery. People thought it could be a prehistoric animal or a mysterious sea creature. Once they alerted the marine officials, they investigated it and revealed the monster was simply a decomposed orca. Unidentified blob. Locals in Mindoro, Philippines, were baffled after a massive, unidentified sea creature washed up on their beach. The creepy white blob floated in the water. It was covered in strange hair like strands. One man even poked it to see if it was alive. The huge, hairy form did not respond. Some of the locals thought it looked like a globster, a similar creature found in the Philippines before. It also had a foul smell that made them really uneasy, and a few superstitious people even believed it could be a sign of calamities ahead. But to this day, the creature's true identity still remains a mystery. Enigmatic discovery. In Queensland, Australia, a couple walking along Bundaberg Beach stumbled upon the enormous remains of a strange fish. It was nearly 2 meters long and weighed about 330 pounds. When they posted the video online, it gained so much attention that people from around the world got intrigued by the enigmatic creature. They thought it could have been some sort of ancient species that had managed to survive till now. The mystery deepened when the couple returned the next day. The creature was gone, possibly taken by another fisherman or washed away by the tides. Mystery remains. Can you guess what this is? The footage is from July 2020. The uploader mentioned that he'd found this when he was with his dogs at Ainsdale Beach near Liverpool. It was clearly the remains of some creature with rib-like bones and strange limbs still visible, but he couldn't identify what creature it really was. Even if it had been a mammal like a bison, the carcass was in such rough shape that he couldn't be sure. No birds or scavengers were near it either. The carcass looked so unsettling that this video was even featured on the Discovery Channel. Creepy hybrid discovery. Look at this insane creature. A beach patrol officer was making his rounds at Daytona Beach in Florida. That's when he saw this unusual creature. It looked like a bizarre cross between a spider and a scorpion, with pale skeletal legs and a thick spine that ended in a tail. He picked it up out of curiosity, but the creature did not respond at all. It was too stiff, and the texture felt more like plastic than flesh. That's when he thought that maybe this was not a real creature at all, but a strange prop that someone had discarded there. Unidentified carcass. In Waycross, Georgia, a man named Jeff Warren was out boating with his son near Wolf Island when they spotted something unusual on the shore. The creature looked so strange that Jeff quickly recorded its video. It had a dark tubular form, and it even reminded him of the Loch Ness Monster. After uploading the video, the bizarre discovery even made it to the local news. All the experts started wondering what it really was. Some suggested it could be the Tully Monster, an extinct sea creature that lived 300 million years ago, but no marine biologist has confirmed that yet. Unexpected sight. People at Umhlanga Beach in South Africa noticed a huge shape on the shoreline in 2023. As they got closer, they realized it was a humpback whale. The sight was so unexpected that locals soon gathered around it, taking photos and recording videos of it. When the news reached the city's parks department, they quickly arrived and blocked off the area so no one could get too close. Officials later explained that after examining the whale, they would take its remains for incineration. Unbelievable twins. Look what the fishermen in Baja California, Mexico found. In 2014, they came across two rare conjoined gray whale calves in the Ojo de Liebre Lagoon. According to the reports, they had only lived for a few hours after being born. The whales were joined at the waist, each with its own full head and tail fin. According to the marine biologist Benito Bermudez from the National Natural Protected Areas Commission, scientists had collected skin, muscle, and baleen samples to study how these rare twins had formed and to learn more about such unusual marine births. Manatees encounter. While kayaking in the Crystal River, Florida, a man named Andrew was having a great time when he spotted a massive shape beneath the water's surface. The creature was huge, and its back was clearly visible from above. He realized it was a manatee. The giant creature suddenly slipped under his kayak, bumping it hard enough to make it jolt. He started panicking and realized it was not just one manatee, but an entire group of them. Although manatees are gentle giants, their massive size makes close encounters risky for boaters. Mysterious Globster. A huge hairy blob washed up on the beach in San Antonio, Oriental Mindoro in the Philippines, and people nicknamed it a globster. The carcass was about 20 feet long. It was grayish-white and smelled so bad that even marine workers said it was like something from another planet. Only a few people went close to it and secured it with ropes, probably to examine it. Many people thought the globster's appearance could be a bad omen. However, officials think it could be a very decomposed carcass of a whale, but they don't know what species it could be. But until they confirm its identity, everyone will keep calling it a globster. Toxic discovery. You'll never walk on the beach barefoot after seeing this. The footage shows a man using grabbers to pull at something sticking out of the sand. At first, it looked like a small white object, but as he pulled it, a massive creature came out of the sand. It turned out to be a cuttlefish. These creatures live in shallow reefs and are rarely found buried in sand, but this one may have been stranded when the tide went out. While they are not very dangerous for humans as they generally avoid us, it's still best to stay away from them because cuttlefish possess toxins that are harmful if ingested. Beach invader. Beaches are full of surprises, but some of them are so scary, they make you run. In 2020, people at the Baltic Sea in Germany had a similar experience when they spotted something swimming toward shore.
Kommt das denn her?
Wieso die laufen? Hi!
At first, no one knew what it was. But as it got closer, they realized it was a wild boar. Everyone started panicking as the boar ran wildly, and people started scattering in all directions to get out of its way. The unexpected visitor eventually made its way past the people and ran away. Creepy hand discovery. A couple in Brazil made a creepy discovery during a walk on the beach at Ilha Comprida in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Leticia Gomes Santiago and her boyfriend Devanir Souza spotted a giant skeletal hand in the sand.
E olha o que a gente acha, tropeça.
They thought it couldn't be human because of the size and number of bones, so they posted it for others' opinion. But the viewers' opinions were wild, saying it was from a mermaid or even an alien. Only one person suggested taking it to a biologist, which they did. Marine biologist Eric Coleman explained it was most likely from a cetacean, like a dolphin, porpoise, or whale. Mysterious beach appearance. People at Bondi Beach in Australia got the most bizarre surprise in 2022. A strange creature appeared on the sand. And no, it wasn't a whale or any ordinary sea creature that gets stranded on beaches. At its center, there was a gaping red opening with long dark tentacles stretching outward in every direction. The thing was so huge that people around it looked tiny. Men in protective suits surrounded it to inspect the strange form. Later that day, the truth finally came out. It was not a creature at all, but a prop for the premiere of the famous season, Stranger Things. Head appearance. Two beachgoers, Neil and Bridget Carey Smith, couldn't believe what they were seeing on St. Lucia Beach in South Africa. While walking their dog, they thought they had found a strangely shaped rock. But as they got closer, they realized it was the head of a huge crocodile. They immediately recorded it and posted the video, and netizens believed only a great white shark could have been capable of doing this to a crocodile. Some people also thought that the crocodile could have been eaten by a hippo, or even poachers. However, even after so much speculation, no one was able to identify the exact cause of its demise.
On the side here, the big flab, you can see the sharp teeth there, the enormous size of it.
Jaguar hunt. In 2018, a man named Manuel Campbell saw a shocking scene at Costa Rica's beach. He was at the Tortuguero National Park when he spotted a massive jaguar feasting on a sea turtle. The sight attracted other scavengers, and looking at their number, This doesn't look normal. When Campbell filmed the moment and uploaded it to Instagram, scientists explained that jaguars have started visiting this beach to prey on endangered turtles, as they are slow, and that makes them easy prey. Shark encounter. Last year at Kia Beach, Abu Dhabi, beachgoers witnessed a shocking moment when a massive shark washed ashore after swimming too close. Instead of panicking, people rushed to help it.
Oh my.
One of the comments said it was a short fin mako. If that's the case, those sharks are known for their incredibly dangerous speed and power. So these people had to be extremely cautious. They carefully grabbed the shark and placed it back into the water. Luckily, no one was in the water when it beached itself, and they were able to help it safely. Stranded stingray. On July 13, 2016, at Praia de Costa Dourada in Brazil, a giant manta ray washed up on shore after getting tangled in a fishing net. The creature was massive and extremely heavy, as manta rays can easily weigh up to 5,000 pounds. At first, everyone just stood around taking photos of the stranded creature until one man stepped forward to take action. He tried dragging the ray back into the water, realized it was far too heavy. Time was running out, so he called for help, and with group effort, they freed the ray and guided it safely back to the ocean. Helpless shark. In 2018, beachgoers in Indonesia were shocked to find a massive tiger shark stranded on the shore. They didn't let fear take over their compassion, so they worked together to push it back into the sea. But even after reaching the water, the shark did not swim or respond at all. This means it could have been sick, which is often why sharks get stranded on shore, because illness can cause disorientation, making it hard for them to swim properly. The video ended before showing the outcome, so we don't know if it managed to swim away or not. Beached whale. A simple day at the beach became the most unforgettable one for beachgoers. On October 22nd, 2017, they found a juvenile humpback whale stranded on the shore in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. After seeing the whale, more than 30 people quickly stepped in to help it. Using ropes and working together, they managed to push and guide the whale back into the water. When the baby whale slowly swam out to sea, the crowd started cheering as they were overjoyed at saving its life. Massive rescue. In Nueva Atlantis, Argentina, a massive orca ended up stranded on the beach. It could be the result of miscalculated hunting, because orcas sometimes swim towards shore to snatch sea lion pups, but this one got stuck too far from the water. An expert rescue team rushed to save it, because on land, an orca's own weight can crush its organs since the ocean normally supports its body. So, the team took great effort to rescue it, which took nearly 20 hours. Finally, their effort paid off as the orca went back into the sea. Feeding frenzy. This was a fishing trip to remember for Dylan May and his friends off the coast of Venice, Louisiana. They were hoping to catch some yellowfin tuna when they spotted splashing in the distance. At first, they thought it was a tuna boil, where fish feed so quickly it makes the water look like it is boiling. They moved closer curiously, only to realize it was a massive shark feeding frenzy. Hundreds of sharks were chasing fish in every direction. Some fish tried to hide under the boat, but the sharks followed them. The crew decided it was safest to head back, yet they were glad they'd caught it all on camera. Shocking catch. While they were offshore on the coast of Spain, a group of fishermen had a shocking encounter. They spotted a giant sunfish trapped in their nets. The massive creature measured over 10 feet long, nearly 10 feet wide, and weighed more than 2,000 pounds. It was one of the biggest fish they had ever seen with their own eyes. The fishermen reeled it in, but instead of taking it to land, they released it back into the wild. Whale carcass. In 2023, the floods in Andhra Pradesh, India, brought something unbelievable to shore. It was a blue whale. The massive carcass washed up on Meghavaram Beach in Srikakulam district, which attracted hundreds of curious locals. The Marine Police alerted the officials about the rare sight, and they believe the rains and rough seas may have caused it to wash ashore. They also said it measured about 25 feet long and weighed nearly 5 tons. That is quite tiny compared to a healthy adult that can reach more than 90 feet and weigh more than 100 tons, the heaviest being 190 tons, which means this one was likely a young whale. Komodo mystery. This creature on the Indonesian beach left everyone stunned, and it is easy to see why. A foreign tourist began filming what looked like a massive lizard with an oddly round, flat head. There were no clear features on its face. People thought it was a strange, mutated reptile that no one had seen before. But at the end of the video, things finally become clear. It was a Komodo dragon with its head inside a turtle's shell, maybe because it was trying to eat the turtle. As the turtle came free, everyone's mystery ended in the most unexpected way. Unexpected creature. The footage from 2022 has one of the most unexpected endings. A woman named Sarah Mitchell was sitting on a bench in Florida when she spotted a dark, strange shape on the sand. It looked hairy, with no visible head, limbs, or clear features. She started recording it and walked closer. That's when she realized she had been staring at a dog the whole time. The dog was in a play bow, with front legs lowered and back raised. From her angle, it looked completely unrecognizable, and this proves that sometimes things are not strange. It's just the wrong perspective. Jelly encounter. In Marbella, Spain, a man was swimming at a beach when he spotted a huge jelly-like blob nearby. He became so curious that he grabbed it without a second thought. What he had found was a lion's mane jellyfish. It is one of the largest and most venomous jellyfish in the world. While some of them can grow up to nearly 100 feet, this one was much smaller. Still, the man handled it as if he didn't know it was venomous, and he was lucky the jellyfish did do anything dangerous. After a few moments, he simply placed it on a rock. Ray invasion.
Lamento y preocupación en Río de Janeiro, y esto es porque una de sus...
You see those alien-like creatures on the sand? They are actually dozens of rays that washed up on the shore. This strange event happened in 2013 at Ilha do Fundaio, a beach in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. When beachgoers arrived, they were stunned to find the shoreline covered in rays. Even locals who had visited for years had never seen one there, let alone dozens. The unusual scene quickly drew the attention of authorities and marine biologists. Yet, despite questions from reporters and news outlets, no one could give a clear reason why the rays ended up stranded on that beach that day.
Y aunque no hay otras especies muertas, no descarta que también pudo haber sido causado.
Helpless turtle. On Daytona Beach in Florida, a man spotted a sea creature where it wasn't supposed to be and decided to help it. He saw a giant turtle lying upside down on its shell. Unlike tortoises, turtles cannot survive on land for long because their bodies are adapted for swimming, not walking. They can quickly become dehydrated, overheated, and can even lose their lives. So, despite the turtle's heavy size, the man managed to turn it over and nudge it toward the sea. That little push was all it took for the turtle to rush back to the safety of the water. Shocking whale encounter. In 2016, a fisherman kayaking in Half Moon Bay, California, had one of the most exciting encounters of his life. With years of outdoor adventure and fishing experience, he had seen plenty in nature. But nothing like this. As he paddled, two massive humpback whales suddenly breached right beside him and bumped into his kayak. It was a heart-pounding moment he would never forget. He later uploaded the footage to his YouTube channel, EW Outdoors, making it one of his most memorable adventures. Massive visitor.
This thing is huge!
A group of friends in New Jersey had an encounter they would never forget, and it was all caught on camera. On June 29, 2019, they were offshore after competing in a fishing tournament when something massive swam toward their boat. They were thrilled to see it was an adult great white shark. Then it came dangerously close and went straight for the chum bag. The 16-foot predator ate the bag of ground-up fish bait before nudging the boat. It swam away soon after that. Jeff Crilly, one of the friends, posted the video and called it their most exciting day ever.
Oh my god! Dude, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen!
Orca's surprise. A day on the waters of Auckland, New Zealand turned into a moment of fear for the marine science graduate, Kayla Fickling. While paddleboarding near East Coast bays, she suddenly found herself surrounded by a pod of giant orcas. She was so terrified that she struggled to stay calm. Lucky for her, humans aren't on the menu for orcas, so they didn't do anything, and she came out of the encounter safely. Orcas are known to be incredibly intelligent, and not a single encounter exists between orcas and humans that ended up bad.
Sorry. Hi.
Jelly carcass. Finding a massive jellyfish on the beach is one thing, but seeing it getting devoured by hundreds of other creatures is a whole different story. A woman strolling at Maitland Beach in Port Elizabeth, South Africa, came across a similar sight. She saw a jellyfish that was covered by countless plow snails. These snails are the dominant scavengers of these waters. They can detect decaying animal matter from a long distance and rush in from all directions to feed on it. The sight was both eerie and fascinating, as the tiny snails ate the huge creature's carcass. Unexplainable discovery. This discovery is unsettling enough to give you trypophobia. A group of friends found it on a beach in South Africa. It wasn't just a porous rock. It looked more like a sea creature that didn't belong there. It was too far away from the water to have just washed up on the shore, which makes it even more mysterious. The friends filmed and posted it on YouTube, and the viewers started coming up with their own opinions. Some of them said it was coral, and some thought it was acorn barnacles on a rock. But that didn't make sense, because corals don't survive on land, and barnacles have shells. This thing's fleshy holes were far too strange. Parasitic creature. Here's one of the most unsettling discoveries on a beach. A man found it at Cannon Beach in Oregon, USA. The strange marine creature had a shell that seemed to move on its own, and there were strange root-like structures spreading in the rest of it. One possible explanation could be that this was a parasitic barnacle from the group Rhizocephala in their larval stage. They burrow into other creatures and grow an internal root system, which they use to steal nutrients from the host. So, maybe what this man had found was one of those creatures inside a host. Shocking ride. Beachgoers were delighted to see this playful scene at San Cristobal Island in the Galapagos Island, a place that is rich in diverse marine life. The little sea lion hopped onto a turtle's back playfully. Despite being about the same size as the sea lion, the turtle kept moving, most probably to shake off the unwanted weight on its back. However, the little sea lion seemed to enjoy the ride on the turtle. Eventually, to the turtle's relief, it got off and left it alone. Unexpected guest. This video may be old as it was uploaded back in 2008, but it's still really interesting. It shows an iguana at South Beach in Miami as it crawled towards the people.
It's Elvis the lizard!
Although these reptiles are quite common on this beach, they were still surprised because of its behavior. Normally, iguanas flee when humans approach them. But this one stayed calm and even seemed friendly, almost as if it was enjoying human company. But despite its friendliness, very few came close to it.
No, he's not gonna bite. He's a good lizard.
Dangerous encounter. These beachgoers had a terrifying close encounter with a cassowary, one of the most dangerous birds in the world. This massive bird is the third tallest and second heaviest living bird after the ostrich. It is known for the long dagger-like claw on its inner toe, which can be really dangerous. So when these women in Queensland, Australia saw this huge cassowary walking toward them while they were relaxing on the beach, they tried not to panic. They stayed calm. The bird ignored them and walked past them. They were relieved because if it had decided to engage them, things could have gone really sideways really fast. Giant metal ball. The mysterious metal sphere that washed up on a Japanese beach left everyone puzzled. It was about 5 feet in diameter and seemed to have appeared overnight. There were no signs of impact or objects nearby to tell where it had come from, so it couldn't be space debris. Locals alerted the authorities, who examined it and thought it might be a metal buoy, but they still couldn't explain its origin. They x-rayed it and told the public that it was harmless, but social media was getting creative with the possibilities. They even compared it to a Chinese spy balloon. Authorities said if no one claims it as their own, they will dispose of it. The most shocking discovery on the beach. TikToker Fabiola was on vacation in Acapulco, Mexico, when she spotted something unsettling on the beach. A man with a strange expression stood in the water. What's really strange is that no one had seen him enter the sea, which made it seem like he had walked straight out of it. He wasn't even dressed in normal clothes. There was just a single white cloth draped over him. As he came forward, his behavior got more and more bizarre, almost as if he was possessed or suffering from a mental condition. The uploader also mentioned in the description that he kept it up for hours before finally walking away.